America's Heartland is made possible by Farm Credit, financing agriculture and rural America since 1916. Farm Credit is cooperatively owned by America's farmers and ranchers. Learn more at farmcredit.com. The United Soybean Board, whose Common Ground program creates conversations to help consumers get the facts about farming and food. There's more at findourcommonground.com. The American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture, dedicated to building greater awareness and understanding of agriculture through education and engagement. More information at agfoundation.org. The Fund for Agriculture Education, a fund created by KBIE to support America's Heartland programming. Contributors include the following.
Hi, I'm Kristen Samos. We've rounded up an unusual story for you this time. We'll take you to Montana to meet a family that discovered trout can be a valuable addition to their cattle ranch.
I'm Rob Stewart. This week we're talking a little produce and veggies and the farm family story in Arkansas with some sweet roots in the land.
I'm Jason Schultz. Coming up, I'll take you to the wide open spaces of Wyoming to meet a family working hard to preserve a ranch that's been in their family for generations.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gardner. America's Atlantic coast is well known for its fisheries, but getting that catch to consumers is sometimes difficult. We'll take you to New England, where a community effort is bringing in a harvest of seafood. It's all coming up on America's Heartland.
You can see it in the eyes of every woman and man in America's Heartland, living close to the land. There's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's Heartland, living close to the land.
We all try and use our resources to the best advantage. For a farmer, that might mean planting multiple crops on the same field in a single year. For one cattle ranch here in Montana, it's meant reeling in a whole new revenue stream.
My backyard is a test for patience and persistence, and it's incredible.
Jackie Nelson's backyard is a bit different from the yard that you and I might be used to. It includes a spring creek that's ideal for fly fishing. But this backyard isn't just a place for family members to catch some trout and enjoy their Montana scenery. For Jackie, her husband Tucker, and his parents Roger and Mary, it's also a working cattle ranch that's been in the Nelson family since the 1860s.
We run about 500 mother cows. 500 cows sounds like quite a bit, but nowadays it's not that big operation, and so you need something on the side really for the ups and downs in the ag industry.
The Nelsons decided that agritourism could help address those ups and downs of agriculture. So, opening up their creek, they built a lodge and began welcoming fly fishing enthusiasts from all around the globe.
I'm from Yarmouth, Maine, and I come out west about once a year to just enjoy the wonderful scenery and most especially to see if we can catch some fish on some of the gorgeous water that's out here.
The reason people like these creeks so much is the challenge, I would say. The challenge and the quality of fishing.
In addition to the naturally occurring fish populations in the ranch's waterways, the Nelsons also have a commercial fish operation, raising trout and providing fish to other locations in the West.
Some of them go to a group of guys that are processing them, going to Yellowstone Park and to restaurants locally, and we stock ponds around Montana that are licensed through Fish and Game for just private ponds.
The Nelsons have also done a good deal of conservation work, fencing off cattle to protect water quality, restoring creek beds, and stabilizing banks to control erosion. Add that to running a ranch, and everyone is busy.
It really is a family business. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of time spent, and we have a lot of different hats we wear.
Sure. When were you thinking of coming?
My wife pretty much takes care of the fishing lodge and organizing all that and the fishermen and the reservations. And my son and daughter-in-law guide the fishermen.
I definitely have a passion for it. On my days off, that's what I do. I go fly fishing. The guiding was just a way to get more immersed in it, also bring some more income into the family business.
And while Jackie has her hands full with a new baby,
Well, I'm a full-time mom now.
she likes interacting with the visitors and says that fishing is something that she and Tucker have grown to enjoy together.
I normally tend to a lot of the people in the fly shop, and I help them with fly selection, any of their Spring Creek essentials that they needed the last second or they ran out of. Tucker taught me everything I know about fly fishing. He used to tie my knots for me and put on my flies and all that kind of stuff. And I used to tell him that I didn't know how and just to have him keep doing it. And finally he realized that I didn't know how to tie on a few knots, and there goes that privilege.
I think all the other guides are jealous that I have a wife that fly fishes and guides.
Not only has the creek given the Nelsons an additional revenue stream, it's also given them an opportunity to share their ranching lifestyle with those who may not know much about agriculture.
Most times you go just to fish, but here you come and you see a family doing farming, and it's a wonderful combination of agriculture and a natural world.
After you're done working cattle at the end of the day, you don't want to see another cow, but after you're done guiding for a whole day, you do want to go fish some more.
The tranquility of it, I think. I think that just being out here, and it doesn't matter if I catch a fish or not, and I think that's a lot to do with, everyone that fly fishes, is just being out in the beauty.
It's a beautiful spot to live. You just feel good about it, and you feel like you're contributing something to the better, and it just feels good.
The history of fishing goes way back in time. Prehistoric man used spears and bone hooks. Ancient Egyptians developed fishing with nets. Fishing rods were short at first, getting longer as the sport or livelihood developed in Britain. And fishing reels to bring in the catch? Early ones began appearing in the 1700s.
Growing fruits and vegetables is a very personal thing for the family that you're about to meet. The Carpenter family, who lives in Arkansas, working hard to bring fresh food to you and spend quality time together on the land. Little Rock, Arkansas's River Market sits right along the banks of the Arkansas River. As you might expect, farm fresh produce is one of the draws. Welcome to Little Rock, Arkansas. One vendor that's been popular with buyers for decades is the Carpenter family, selling and sharing produce grown on their extensive family farm.
Everything been good?
Everything has been wonderful.
How's everybody? Good to see you all. Okay, wonderful.
Heading up the Carpenter contingent here is Abraham Carpenter Jr.
Abraham, everywhere I've seen here today, and you're doing it now, all I see are smiles.
Well, I got a lot to be grateful for, Rob.
The Carpenter stand is one of the largest at the market, and the family's produce has made them known statewide.
People have a choice. They have a choice. There's probably 100 other vendors here, but the majority of them, they're going to come and they're going to patronize our business if they buy from other vendors, which I'm happy that they do to keep everybody, spread all the love around. But they make sure that they take care of us.
I love it. I love their personalities. They're great. They help out. They're very friendly, and of course, you can negotiate some prices on occasion. So I love coming. I feel like I'm at home with them. I've gotten to know them over the past several months, so it does feel like home.
Most of my customers are my friends. They come and purchase their products and take care of me, and in return, I treat them by giving them the quality products that they need and excellent service.
And a couple of free ears of corn I saw earlier.
Exactly, exactly. I've learned over the years it never hurts to give.
The Carpenter's success began with an experiment some 40 years ago, when Abraham's mother, Katie, started the family farm with 1 acre and a dream.
She was working 1 acre of land and made more off of that 1 acre of land than my dad made off of his whole job that year. He was working at a lumber company. He said, now if you can do that, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna start growing produce full time. And that's what he did.
Today, the family's farm in Grady has grown to 1,500 acres, raising more than 30 varieties of fruits and vegetables. In addition to family members working the land, the Carpenters hire some 50 seasonal workers, making them one of the largest employers in their rural community. The Carpenter's produce will make its way to supermarket shelves from Chicago to California.
You know, it's all fun and games at the market.
Yes, it is.
But you get here on the farm, and it is a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, it really is.
On this day, Abraham, one of his sisters, and 2 of his brothers are bringing in cucumbers from the field.
We may put in 16, 20 hours a day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week.
In addition to long hours, the Carpenters, like most farmers, face challenges from the weather. This season, high winds and heavy rains from the tail end of a hurricane took their toll.
You know, you took a big hit this year with you lost all your greens.
All my greens, all
it's
my
$1 million
melons.
hit.
Yes.
Your watermelons,
Yeah.
how much of a loss is
About
that?
$500,000 hit. Most people, they see the finished product coming to the market and at the grocery stores, but they don't realize I probably invest over $1 million each year in my crops to produce them.
Weathering the storms, the Carpenters credit family togetherness for seeing them through.
We just kept working, saving us a little money, bought us some land, and that was it. All the kids growed up, and they worked.
Turnips, okra, all that was picked, peas, all that was picked yesterday.
And I saw these peas, you know, I spent hours as a kid shelling these things by hand, and now they're coming out by the hundreds.
Yeah, we have a pea sheller that you can pour a bushel or 2 bushels in and shell them in about 2 to 3 minutes.
Abraham's been working the farm since he was a child. Those efforts, with the help of his family, have won the Carpenters accolades in Arkansas. Awards for their impact on the community, inductees into the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame, Regional Farm Family of the Year, and recognition by the Arkansas Agriculture Hall of Fame.
Come.
As for the future, Abraham says it's farming and faith that will see them through.
I want to make sure that I do a great job at what we're doing. I want to fine-tune what we're doing. We're going to keep on doing the same thing that we started, raising vegetables, providing quality products, excellent service, and giving thanks to God.
Arkansas is high on the list for several of the country's agricultural activities. Nicknamed the natural state, Arkansas leads the nation in rice production and makes the top 5 in cotton production, poultry, and aquaculture. One other thing that comes from Arkansas soil, diamonds are mined in Arkansas.
I'm Jason Schultz. Still ahead, come with me to Wyoming to find out what it takes for a family to preserve a ranch that's been in their family since the turn of the last century.
I'm Sarah Gardner. Coming up, we'll take you to Massachusetts and a community effort that's helping fishermen deliver their catch to consumers.
Hi, I'm Paul Robbins, and here's something you may not have known about agriculture. If I asked you to name the most popular fruit in the world, what would you say? Apples are high on the popularity list. People do like bananas, and excuse the pun, but why have one fruit when you can have a pear? But if you thought about a plant that most people consider a vegetable but is really botanically a fruit, you would probably give the tomato its rightful due. Think about it, tomatoes are used in all kinds of foods, from salads to pizza to pastas, even fruit juices, and they're a fruit with a colorful past. Credit the Aztecs of Mesoamerica with the early cultivation of tomatoes, but other civilizations in what is today Mexico and Central America were already dining on tomatoes well before 500 BC. Early varieties included tomatoes that were small and yellow in color, often prepared with peppers, corn, and salt. That might work well on a taco today. Fast forward to the 1500s, the Spanish arrive, discover the tomato, and make the fruit available all across the Caribbean and even into the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Brought back to Europe, tomatoes were grown in Spain and really took off in Italy, where they are still an important part of Italian cuisine. And while they were native to the Americas, it's thought that their popularity in the Caribbean prompted their introduction to the mainland U.S. around 1700. Oh, and we should mention Joseph Campbell. Back in 1897, he came up with the idea of using tomatoes to create a new kind of condensed soup. Campbell's soup took off, and the rest is history.
Keeping a farm or ranch in the same family is a serious commitment. Preserving the land and ensuring it's there for the next caretakers requires working closely together as a family. For the Livingston family in Wyoming, that means carrying on the legacy of a lost loved one.
This particular ranch has a beautiful setting to start with, and it's rolling hills, timbered ridges.
These wide open spaces near Sundance, Wyoming are home to a family with a deep connection to this land.
At the time I was growing up, we hayed with horses and fed with horses in the wintertime.
Ellis Livingston is the patriarch of a family that's worked their ranch for more than a century. His son Perry oversees the day-to-day operations here. Like many places in the Heartland, the Livingston Ranch is a story of changes in agriculture and in the lives of those who call this home.
I've lived here all my life, been here 60 years. And so it's, this is all I ever wanted to do, is operate the ranch.
Perry and his wife Carla raised their children on this land, the setting for innumerable family memories. Some are painful. Carla lost her life to cancer.
She did a lot for our family. She was an instigator of get-togethers. She was, a spreader of love and encouragement and joy. And that's one of the things that made growing up here on the ranch, such a blessing.
Perry considers his efforts a tribute to what Carla brought to their family's life here, a belief in the importance of agriculture to families everywhere.
Come on girls. American agriculture has made tremendous advances in the last 100 years, and we're still feeding the world, and we will continue to feed the world. That's the thing that makes me proud to be in agriculture is, we are providing a sustenance to the whole nation and a lot of the world.
Continuity with preserving agriculture's past and planning for its future is something the Livingstons take great pride in, and it shows. In 2010, they were honored with Wyoming's Centennial Farm and Ranch Award.
It's just taken a lot of work to maintain and to whip this land into shape, and with the farming and with the ranching and with the fencing. It's just, there's a lot of work here, and there's still a lot to be done.
Much has changed since the day when Perry's grandfather purchased this land. Some things remain the same, however. Early mornings and long days taking care of crops and livestock.
People look at all this vastness of land, but it takes many acres to feed a cow in Wyoming when you're at 5,000 feet elevation, and you're only counting on from 12 to 18 inches of rainfall. All it can produce is most places is grass, and that's a renewable resource. Hannah, and
the family takes pride in their past. Looking back on more than a century here, they can point to changes that made possible more and better ways to improve the land and increase production.
Here we are, you and I up north.
Up north. This ranch can sustain itself, and with just a little bit of management, and I would hope that it would stay in the family and they would continue to operate it.
This land, to me, holds a beauty that's so sentimental. When you grow up here and you spend so many days here and so many, winters here, and you have so many holidays here, and this is family.
It's pride, probably more than anything. Proud to be part of this life.
Want to impress your friends with some unusual facts about cows? Try these. Cows can produce about 125 pounds of saliva in a day. Cows don't bite grass as they eat. Rather, they use their tongues and lips to pull grass from the ground. And their digestive systems allow them to chew and re-chew their food, with more than 40,000 jaw movements in a day.
Any number of health studies these days suggests most of us could benefit from a diet that includes more seafood. Going out to sea to deliver that catch is a challenging way to make a living. Here in Massachusetts, getting that catch to consumers has prompted an interesting community effort.
You know, it's a daily grind. You put your feet on the floor every morning, hit the ground running, and you go out and you try to go fishing.
Daniel Dunbar figures he's been catching fish since he was 5 years old. He's the latest in a long line of Gloucester fishermen who've harvested the ocean's bounty for centuries. Daniel loves his work, but admits it's an unpredictable profession.
You never know when the fish will show up. Every day is different, every year is different, every month is different. You know, certain months are better than other months, but not necessarily. I pay my daughter's tuitions with this stuff, you know what I mean? College isn't cheap, mortgages aren't cheap. This boat pays for certain things. And if this boat disappears, now I got to figure out how to replace those payments.
Dating back to the early 1600s, Gloucester is one of the oldest towns in New England. Fishing has been its lifeblood since the 18th century. It was once the largest fishing port in America. But for countless generations of fishermen, the sea has been both generous and unforgiving. This statue and wall of remembrance honors more than 5,000 souls lost to the restless North Atlantic. Fishermen here face stiff competition from overseas suppliers. Marine educator Nancy Sullivan says that's caused a steady decline in the number of Gloucester fishermen.
We had some 6,000 fishermen, I think, in the 1800s here in Gloucester, and now there's just a few hundred.
But now there's an effort underway to keep fishermen in business and preserve this way of life. The Northwest Atlantic Marine Alliance was created to help small fishing communities from Maine to North Carolina. Executive Director Niaz Dory says they help each town create a community-supported fishery, with local residents signing up to receive fresh fish weekly, directly from the source, at a fair and stable price.
Our work really involves empowering the community-based fishermen. So in this political arena where they're forced to either scale up or sell out, they can choose a third option, which is to actually fit within the right scale and operate at a small scale and feed their local communities and make a living that they can actually exist on.
Each day, the fresh catch is brought to markets like Turner Seafoods. That's where community-supported fishery members, like Joanne Hart, stop by to pick up their order.
The quality's better because it's so very, very fresh, and it's just coming right off the water here in Gloucester and not Asia or South America.
I think that the more people that participate, the more money the fishermen get.
Morning, Brenda.
Hi.
How are you? Good.
Turner Seafoods owner Jim Turner says the program actually keeps money circulating within the town and helps keep his retail business healthy.
The captains, they're getting paid top dollar for their fish, and we're busy because we're able to keep our guys working and filleting, and so it's a win-win for everybody.
The community-supported fishery concept is modeled after the community-supported agriculture programs that began in the U.S. in the 1980s. Like the model for farmers, it provides a steady, reliable price, income, and customer base for the fishermen's catch.
We get together and the organization pools the money and pays the fishermen to catch our fish for the table. You know, instead of being told what they're going to get for their fish, they know what they're going to get. So it's good for stability for everybody.
Stability for the fishermen, for the community, and, say these folks, for the marine environment. A steady market means fishermen can concentrate on a quality catch, not quantity.
You're doing better. Yeah, you're doing better. You're not depleting. You're not catching fish in such great numbers.
People are going to talk about fresh seafood. There's no question about it. I think it's very important to these boats because it's anything like that where they're trying to promote fresh fish for the communities, which is what it's really all about.
So if you care about the health of the ocean, you should care about who catches the fish that you want to eat.
That's going to wrap it up for us. We're always glad that you could come along as we discover interesting people and places in America's heartland.
And remember, you can stay in touch with us 24/7. We make it easy for you. You'll find us on your favorite sites, and you can always access video and stories from any of our shows at our website, americasheartland.org. We'll see you next time right here on America's Heartland.
You can purchase a DVD or Blu-ray copy of this program. Here's the cost. To order, just visit us online or call 888-814-3923.
You can see it in the eyes of every woman in America's heartland, living close to the land. There's a love for the country and a pride in the brand in America's heartland, living close to the land.
America's Heartland is made possible by Farm Credit, financing agriculture and rural America since 1916. Farm Credit is cooperatively owned by America's farmers and ranchers. Learn more at farmcredit.com. The United Soybean Board, whose Common Ground program creates conversations to help consumers get the facts about farming and food. There's more at findourcommonground.com. The American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture, dedicated to building greater awareness and understanding of agriculture through education and engagement. More information at agfoundation.org. The Fund for Agriculture Education, a fund created by KVIE to support America's Heartland programming. Contributors include the following: